There's no more of these in the U.S. right now to be sold.
Oh, shit.
Look at that.
Okay, that's nuts. Oh, my God.
That's wild, isn't it?
So that is TurboSmart's straight gate. So unlike a traditional wastegate in general, you know, where the valve is, it opens up and it shoots it out of a 90 degrees. This is even faster, more linear flow. If you look up their Instagram, you'll see them using this on a rotary. It's on a second gen, and they're testing it and just shooting flames straight out of it. If it works on a rotary, it's like the chef's kiss for any piston motor, period. It's like 400 degrees hotter. This is incredible. So we are going to do something really wild with this. Plans shifted a little bit because TurboSmart keeps making even better products. We were originally going to run 260 mils on the 4-rotor, but because of how fast this reacts and how wide it opens up, we're going to use one straight gate on the exhaust side to control the entire 4-rotor. We're going to save weight, have more control. The 4-rotor is just going to be an absolute animal more. So with the new turbo being able to spool faster, flow more, we need more control over it.
It doesn't get as hot as the other ways because it's straight through, so the metal itself isn't collecting heat.
The gate was never the issue on any of our issues. It was the software to control it. So now with the Hull Tech, we have an even better controller fully in my command, which is what I wanted from before. And then we have an even faster, higher flowing gate. Everything about this is incredible. So I cannot say enough about TurboSmart and the ingenuity that comes from that company. Those guys are all absolutely mad lads. And it's our job to help share what they do and how wild their products really are.
For a big turbo like that, I got this all thread that is going to hang down. The metal that we used last time had thinner holes, and that's for a thinner thing that I kind of think will just fall apart this time. I don't want to put metal on the carbon fiber right here or on top of the fenders when both fenders get on. So what I'm going to do is just drill out a hole and use this piece of wood. This is used to hold the turbo from the center, just like this. You can carry this thing like a little lollipop.
During the SEMA prep, I've realized a couple things are very important to me. One is the amount and quality of my time, and two is the people I get to hang out with. Now, technically, these guys are employees, but I consider them friends, and I love hanging out with them, and any excuse I can to hang out with them more is perfect for me. So it's not just building cars, it's having fun with the guys. And so one really great way to do that is to cook out together. And when I had the opportunity to start working with ButcherBox, that was a no-brainer for me because A, I don't have time, and B, we can hang out with the guys, cook out, eating healthy. Clearly high protein, as you guys know, is something important to me as well. And on top of all of that, when we got the ButcherBox, oh my God, look at all the different meat that's in this thing. So we get a lot of different choices. They have 4 different curated options, as well as a 5th, very popular, custom box, which is what I did. And one of the greatest parts is when you first sign up for it, you get a 12 to 14 pound turkey. So it's just unfair. Look at this. If you're on a diet and want to focus on that and have some consistency there, or hang out with the guys and grill out, ButcherBox is perfect for you. To take the next step, click on the link in the description box. New members will get a 12 to 14 pound turkey with their first box.
Now I got like 25 people staring at me. Seriously, thank you all the Patreon people. We love you guys. That was just behind the scenes. And I got the piece all fitted, and I had Rob and the Patreon members were like, oh yeah, that looks good. The struggle for this is getting the turbo as low as possible, getting the heat away from the intake manifold, but also getting everything so that way it can relatively fit in there nice and with the radius of the bends and everything without doing too much of this extra part. And just making it more organic and fit in there with a decent amount of tolerance. It's tough because this turbo is massive. This is a big turbo, and this is the biggest AR that they make. So this is the 124 AR housing. This is the last piece. Pops in there just like that. She has room all around. She's kind of close to the intake manifold. Nothing crazy wild, and I don't want to move it all around at weird different angles. So this is the best, most simple way I could do this. I'll cut this down a little bit and weld this on so that way this isn't as high. I do gotta do something with that intercooler pipe to match it up. But other than that, She's looking all good. Really, really good spot for the wastegate that after I tack this all together, I'll show you guys. This is the detail that I feel sets my work apart from other people's work. It's the care and the love that I put into each and every single piece. I spend so much time deburring, making it look good. Look at that versus that. And it takes some time to clean it up like this and to do it, you know, uniformly and make it look nice. But, and then even when I weld this, the heat spreads out of this texture or finish or whatever way better than it does on this. It makes this look burnt. That's that 1% difference right there. That is all that there is to this.
That is a lot less. The less weight, the less runner length. That means it's gonna keep more heat, getting the energy to the turbo faster. The headers, I mean, are just a work of art. For us, what do I see on the corner of my eye?
Sorry. You're just jerking me off.
Everything you need, no fillers.
So this here is a tube. This is also 321 by Vibrant. What I actually like a lot is that this is a 50 mil wastegate, right? But this is still 60 mil, which is 2.5 inches, because this thing flows pretty much, you know, this. The way I want to do this is, you obviously want to prioritize your wastegate because you're trying to control the amount of pressure and then obviously get good air to your turbo. Instead of getting it on this outside, because when this all comes in, it all gets bent and a lot of the heat and the air is going to collect on this outer center piece right here. Instead of, you know, going right here and capturing all that, so that way when it opens, it releases every fucking thing. I'm going to go out to the side, just like this. So that way I still catch a whole lot of air and it's able to extract all that air. This is, you know, best of both worlds pretty much. This is how strong 321 is. This is tacked together and it's holding this fucking massive ass turbo that I've been struggling with for the past week.
It is only tacked together.
Joel, hurry up and get your pictures.
You know, Isaiah might be a really good welder, but I'm even better of a seer. Go ahead, do it.
But the puddle itself is really weird. Like, if you were to weld this like you were stainless steel, it would be shit. 065 stuff I was welding at 28 amps. I do that because I like a small little bead, but then I also need full penetration. So what I do is I sit there, full fucking pedal, and it gets to the size that I want it, then I back off so that way my bead size doesn't go over the size that I want it. And then once it sinks down a little bit, the puddle starts to swirl. That's when the puddle starts to swirl, that's when you know you have full penetration. And so you see it starts to swirl, it sinks down just the tiniest bit, and you give it just a tad bit of rod. And you're only giving it just, you guys are all making this sexual, okay? And I'm trying to be informative here.
Penetration.
Fuck her in the pussy.
One of the most disappointing things about this entire channel is that I actually like welding, but the problem is I'm not as good as him, and it's way less efficient for me to do it, so I never get to do it. It's kind of some bullshit.
You want to weld something? I'll put something together for you to weld.
I'll weld those lips shut.
I ask him all the time, hey, you want to come weld this? He's like, no, I'm studying on a call
machining.
or
I'm
something.
doing CNC machining.
Yeah, he's doing something.
Yeah, but that's because I'm jealous.
Right now.
No, I am.
I could put something regular for you right now.
I just gotta.
I was kind of sad because this is, you know, a straight gate 50, and I was like, oh, it's a smaller flange. But like I was saying, it still uses the Power Gate 60 flange, and I have the last heatsink that they made, and I get to use my little heatsink. Look at that cute little Turbo Smart heatsink in there, you know?
I know that he secretly has bought a rotating table and is just standing there just doing this, like easy. I know he's easy moding this somehow.
I don't think I'd ever buy a rotisserie table just because I like these results, you know, by hand. Those little imperfections, the start stops and everything, those remind me that a human did that, you know?
What I'm doing right now is actually the highest profession of jankiness, and that is making jigs for a one-time use. And this jig isn't gonna dance that much. And what I mean by that is that this whole thing is using very thick aluminum plates that we use for other metal. It's not for this jig. So that way the machine can vibrate and push and pull and shake this thing. This is stainless steel, so it's a lot harder. And I do want to use my facing mill to really flatten this out. It is warped, these rings, as you'll see when I go to take a couple thousandths off, the rings around here have been upped. This is when you lie on your resume and somehow get the job. That said, I am actually pretty happy with what I've created here, this little cocoon to try and dampen all of the vibration. So I could actually take this tool right here and just go nice and smooth across the surface and take out all the high spots. I'm holding it down internally using two 14 mil wrenches. I'm kind of proud of this little creation, so we'll see.
Badass.
I'm just gonna let it go slow so the vibration doesn't kill me. I am going to try my first pass. This is gonna be a really simple line after line after line. We are maxing out the CNC machine to its fullest.
Careful. See, I have a limp wrist just because that's just naturally how it is. But if you were to hold on to that strong, you would have, you know, done a Rob and almost broke your rib. It's thin, but it's like strong. So I don't know if Joel got, you know, the beauty of that's by my own two hands right there. This is the hole for the wastegate. Now this is only a 2.5 inch inlet, but look at how much air we're actually going to be able to capture, and it's going to ride along this bend. So I don't want to cut into the center of this where most of the air will be and collect, because I want a lot of that to also reach the turbo. I don't want any more turbulence than has to be. So this is like the perfect compromise between both. The wastegate gets a lot, the turbo gets a lot. I'm also going to purge this when I weld in there and I fill in this gap and everything like that. It's a strong, nice weld instead of getting sugary and everything like that.
Okay, let's see. The Joel hook. No way.
No way.
Under 4 pounds.
That is...
That's what I said.
Really?
No. 10.
10?
10, 9 ounces.
I think this header is like a third of the weight total.
Yeah, that's insane. What you're witnessing right now is a young Isaiah in the wild. He's hunting for metal to adjust. Abe made these ribs inside of there that are actually thin pieces of metal meant to hold that whole area. Like, that is a very heavy, very strong bumper. We had the intercooler out because it was just in the way, as you saw earlier.
Over here, actually.
try to avoid this from happening, but we have to take the intercooler down a little bit more just because the curvature of that front bumper can't work around it. And intercooler temps are just ridiculously cold anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. And it's meant for whatever, 1800 horsepower. He's cutting properly between rows. This is his chance to throw more metal into the intercooler. You can see here, these are, of course, can be very sharp if you were to go this way and in general, but these are all the transfer pieces of heat. So the heat goes into the aluminum and then the air goes through all of these, and you can see that this far in, they're separate, different rows. And so you get more efficiency exchanging heat out of the rows between here, which you can see from the side. Those are between these plates. This is the part that cools it down to the atmospheric temperatures. But cap it off and you're good. I'm very happy with how you got that turbo down lower, because we don't have to do that more than 90.
This only comes up this high because this is a 4-inch. I was only get away with the other one because it's a 3.5-inch. So I did a 135, which is tighter radius.
Yeah.
But this is like a little bit less. This rotor was designed really nice to fit into the shape of the car, but it sucks for something simple like this because the triangle itself, when you put it on like a 2D plane, isn't a perfect triangle. One side's elongated, but this is the best way I could do this easily. So I cut these tubes up, I traced the triangle, traced the circle. Basically when I press this in, it'll make a triangular shape. I've done this before on an older car, you know, that was back in the day. I haven't done it since. I've been waiting for the opportunity.
If he does it right, he'll get punched in the mouth.
I might be good. It elongated the way it's supposed to. 5-inch tubing is a pain in the ass. The radius on that thing is huge. This is barely like a 90, and look how long it goes. So I think it's like a 5 and like a 10, or I forgot exactly what the radius is on it, but the radius is huge. And since I have to go this way, to go this way, to go down this way, and it's all a bunch of bends, it was just a pain in the ass. And it was a last minute thing, so it actually just kind of beat my ass, I'm not gonna lie to you. But we're here now, and it actually looks really good. Since it's stainless and it's huge, it's hard to hold up with one hand. We'll just mark this last piece, get it tacked up, and then get ready to do welded. exhausting. But the exhaust is done, you know, look at this fine rotor shape. That came out better than I expected, actually. The straight gate recircs back into here, and it's looking good. I'm proud of it, and I'm excited to hear how it sounds.
Let's go ahead and fire it up.